my minions. So, I got interviewed by Action Coach a couple months back, and I was hesitant to show it. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of felt a little bit weird. It was published. It was a newsletter, and it was put out. It was a good group, and the lady that interviewed me, very nice, very helpful. I like her a lot. I'm so yeah. I'm gonna show everybody, show y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Just kind of get covered. What Nemesis Group does, and even still, I get a lot of questions about what I do specifically. So it just kind of covers, what Nemesis Group does, and how what steps I took during the pandemic, and kind of like my processes and things of that nature. So I don't know. Check it out. Comment on it. Let me know what you think. This is something for y'all for Fun Fridays. I'm hoping it'll be kind of an example. You keep pushing forward, people will notice. Keep trying, keep pushing. Forget the trolls, forget everybody else. Put yourself out there. If you want something bad enough, work at it. Put in the effort, work at it. Don't be afraid to be flexible and bend. So I'm hoping that's kind of what you get out of it. I hope you get more out of it. I hope it helps as well. I'm happy that I was noticed, and the Nemesis Group was noticed, and somebody took interest and wanted to do an interview and things like that. Things like that. It does feel good. I'm just I don't know. Praise is something different. But anyways, here it is, and y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, have a good one.
Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Anthony Patterson, owner of Nemesis Group. Hi, Anthony.
How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Welcome to this week's Business Spotlight series. I really appreciate you taking the time with us today.
No, thank you for having me.
If it's okay with you, I'd like to roll right into the questions here and ask you a little bit about your business and how long you've been doing this. So if you would, please.
So officially, I got the business license and everything started about 2 years ago. But I've been, doing the different things that I do in my business for far longer than that. Basically, I do fitness and health instructing, but more it's occupational based. So it's engineered around people who are trying to get into maybe the police academy or military or even different aspects of private security, and it gets them get them physically and mentally ready for that aspect. There's a lot of people who are just physically unprepared, even mentally unprepared of the challenges they're going to be facing once they're out of the academy and actually performing the work or of their job. So the primary, I guess, say function of what we do is to teach is occupational-based training for those three categories. Now we still do general fitness and health for anybody, but we also tailor the training for the individual or team. I've trained teams. I've trained different individuals based on what they were doing. I had a client who was doing personal protection overseas. And so what I did was literally researched the area that he was in, so climate or any potential the gang activities over there. So basically every aspect of what he needed to prepare himself for, I researched and then engineered the program for that area for his specific needs. So we do that. We also do some security consulting for individuals, some homes, even companies as well. I have a client that I just went to her house and installed new locks and just showed her blind spots in her camera coverage and things like that. We do what's called red team consulting, which basically will go from different companies and test their security, test the efficiency of maybe their security officers or who they have running security. Things of that nature. also run a fugitive recovery team, also known as bail enforcement, and for anyone who needs it, notary. So
You guys offer a variety of services, but they're really all so much related. Um, so, with all of that information, it actually leads me to my next question. Who is your ideal customer?
anyone and everyone who has a need. Like I work with children, I work with women, men. I mean, people of all life. Who as a goal, I said, we'll do general fitness and health. There's lots of women who are trying to get into the police academy, military, private security. So I mean, literally, there's no like one set ideal clients. Anyone who has that need or drive that they want to prepare themselves.
Can you share with us your greatest learning experience since you've been a business owner?
Well, so yeah, one thing I did learn is just being flexible. We all usually all start up with this solid vision, like this is how I want to do things, this is how I'm going to do it, and no one's going to tell me differently. And then, like you said, something like COVID happens that we have no control over whatsoever. And where a lot of people they get discouraged and they will tend to shut down. So basically, just being able to tap into your imagination and realize, okay, I can still make this work. Just how? Like I truly believe there's always a solution. The solution's always there. We just got to find it. And as one of the things that I've tend to specialize in creating solutions and creating results, regardless. So yeah, COVID has one thing that COVID has shown a lot of people, especially instructing, is that a lot of it can be done over Zoom, or I use Google Meets a lot. So I'll do some virtual instruction, virtual training, a lot of online type classes, um, to compensate for not being able to do a lot of things face to face. And so, and then also, I mean, that does save time and money. Now, the only downside to that I found was I spent years basically obtaining all the equipment and stuff that I need. So the only downside to that is if my client doesn't have that same equipment at their house, I don't have to adapt to that. And there's a lot of fitness and training that needs that could be done with just body weight. But yeah, basically, yeah, just the ability to adapt and, and be flexible, realize that you might have to step left and instead of stepping right, even though like, you have your heart set on stepping right, you may have to step left to, accomplish the goal that you're trying to accomplish.
Right. Actually, that is exactly how coaching is handled, believe it or not. And with that, can you pinpoint a specific challenge that you guys had to overcome?
So I had to actually, yeah, I said over the past year, I actually had just a few challenges. I mean, I had to scale some things back. I had to part ways with a business partner. And then that's when I realized one of the things we were trying to do and was trying to avoid basically starting out too big, too fast, and not being able to fulfill the needs that were coming across to us, or having just these grand scale ideas and being nowhere near prepared to actually do any of them or start any of them. So I had to part ways with my partner, just call it creative differences, and realize, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the basic core beliefs of what I was trying to do to begin with. And then, so that's when I actually started posting videos on license. I had to create a LinkedIn business account and just started posting helpful videos on YouTube and LinkedIn, and just went back to the basics of what I was like truly passionate about doing to begin with. And basically I made more progress in the past year doing that, just scaling everything back to the basics, than I had in about 4 years working with my former business partner. Because it was like we would start on one thing, and then a new idea would pop up, and then we would stop and start. Basically, a new idea would pop up. It was a constantly stop, start, and nothing ever got finished. So that
Yeah.
was, hmm?
Oh, I was just getting ready to say it's kind of those, bright, shiny objects that kind of catch our attention, and we just want to focus on those, and refocusing on our goals and our business plan is definitely something that I guess everyone had a challenge with.
Yes, yeah.
I, I really appreciate you sharing your input on that. If you had to say that you learned anything about yourself on this journey, uh, since you've been a business owner, what do you think that would be?
I don't like admin work. um, I just I don't have to do it all myself. And one of the things I don't like I am like a bit of an introvert, and so and I love working with people. But it's like one of the things I don't like is kind of like marketing and networking and having to like kind of sell myself. So it's one of those things like I can do it and I've learned to do it, but then realize that, you know, I don't have to do it all myself. So, and I've never been opposed to asking for help, but like this past year, especially like parting ways with my former partner because he was really good at networking and he's a huge extrovert, would talk to anybody, you know. So yeah, that was one thing, just having to network, having to market, but then realize like I don't have to do it all myself. And um, one of my clients, I was actually just lucky enough that she's really good at it and wants to help. So come September 15th, is the deadline I gave myself that I'm going to be doing a lot more basic promoting, marketing, advertising, and she's going to be a big help in all of that.
That's actually a really great goal and great plan that you have. Um, if you had to look at Nemesis in the future and see a broad picture of what your business looks like, maybe 5 years from now, what would Nemesis Group look like?
I would like to basically have brick and mortar. So I want to have my own building with enough land to basically do all the training needs that I want. Hopefully, I'll have a few contracts with like the local police department, local fire department, some of the schools with the people that they have trouble with, passing their entrance exams and the academy that I'll be able to help them with. Prior to even starting Nemesis Group, I used to work on the Navy bases as an instructor, and I would get a lot of the people, soldiers and sailors, who were like at risk of failing their annual physical assessments. So I would help them out a lot. So hopefully maybe I can get contracts with them with the military bases as well, helping their soldiers and sailors out. And yeah, I mean the whole point in its core is to be able to help people.
If you would have to give advice to anyone that was going into business, in any type of business, what do you think that advice would be about going into business?
Don't seek out perfection. Like we all want this, we have a perfect picture of how we want our business to start, and what a lot of people get stuck on is that perfect vision, and they don't want to start or begin anything until it's absolutely perfect. And it's not going to be perfect, especially always with us all starting out. Like I put out weekly videos, and if you look back at the very first video I ever posted on YouTube compared to now, I mean, it's a huge major difference. But that's how we grow, and that's how we get noticed. I mean, had I not started before, then I wouldn't be doing this interview now. I wouldn't have gotten noticed on LinkedIn. Wouldn't be doing this interview now, and I wouldn't have necessarily a business. So don't get hung up on the perfection of things. You'll get there. And then even when you reach what you consider to be perfection, there's always room to grow. So if you find something you're passionate about, do the research, but just get started. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to, have some setbacks. And as long as you don't let that discourage you, you'll do just fine.
That is wonderful advice. Very wise indeed.
Thank
Uh,
you.
well, I have one final question to ask you, and that is, are there any offers you would like to include in the newsletter, or maybe any messages out there to individuals who are either seeking training or seeking to get their employees trained?
So I do have a subsidy program that I developed based on income. I basically I want I think everyone should be able to afford training and coaching and development. And some of what I do train is kind of like self-defense classes. Kind of goes into some of the programs that I train and instruct. So yeah, I do have kind of a discount program for referrals as well. Um, so I do a 50%. Sorry, excuse me. A 50% discount for referrals. But yeah, so I have the referral program and this subsidy program based on income because yeah, I want everybody, regardless, to be able to afford to um, receive instruction, and my prices are well below competitive to begin with. So
Well, that is very wonderful for you to share with our community, and we really appreciate it. We really appreciate the services that you do. Um,
thank you.
and well, Anthony, I would like to say that this wraps up our interview. Great job. Thank you so much again for taking the time with us today.